The Ornithological Reserve of Mindelo, also known as ROM, is the oldest protected area of Portugal and one of the first ornithological reserves in Europe. ROM was created in 1957 by Joaquim Santos Jr., at the time professor at the Faculty of Sciences of the University of Porto. ROM is located about 20 kilometers north of Porto in the coast. This area is well known among ornithologists in Portugal because a wide variety of species can be found here. Although some species haven't been recorded in the last few years, in total more than 150 were registered. The Ornithological Reserve of Mindelo had an important role for the development of scientific bird ringing in Portugal. Between 1953 and 1984, about 78,000 birds were ringed. Today, this activity is still practiced. This is an extremely biodiverse area, and besides birds, a large variety of fauna can be found here. For example, amphibians are well represented, and most species of Portugal happen to exist here. However, this protected area also has a strong presence of invasive species, and that's what this video is all about. Good morning, my friends, welcome back to another video. Today I'm at the Ornithological Reserve of Mindelo. In Portuguese is Reserva Ornitológica de Mindelo. This is one of the oldest protected areas of Europe, so it's a very important place. And I told you all about this in the introduction of this video. Today I'm here to photograph an invasive species because I'm doing a work about the invasive species in Portugal. There's not a lot of people working in this subject, especially in photography. So more or less a year ago I decided to start a project about this issue, and the species I'm here to photograph is a small bird. Is the common waxbill, I think in English, Astril, that's the scientific name. I know that this species exists here. I've seen many of them here in this protected area, unfortunately. And at this time of the year, in winter, they are usually flying around in flocks, so there are some probabilities of finding them. However, animals are always unpredictable, so I can't be 100% sure I'll find them, but let's keep searching for them. I have all morning for this, so let's go. Sorry about the wind, I hope you can hear me well. Now I'll put on my 3D camo suit, so I'm more blending in the environment, and so birds can see me as well as they would see me without it, and maybe I'll get better chances of getting close to these animals. I already have one shot in my head I would like to take, but as you know, with animals you never know. It's not easy to get what you are thinking. At least many times you have to come back to the same place a lot of times to get the photo you want. But the important thing is to never give up, and one day you might get the photo you dreamed about for so long. Alright, I am ready now. I don't think that standing here waiting for the birds is the best option because it's quite windy, and these kind of conditions are bad for these small birds. They don't like to fly around with these conditions, so I think I'll move on and I'll try to find them in a more protected area from the wind. The common waxbill bill is native from Africa, and it was introduced in Portugal probably because of the pet trade, and now it can be found unfortunately in many areas of Portugal. Their main habitat is humid areas and areas with a lot of grasses because they feed on seeds. And here in this place we have a lot of humid areas with grasses, so that's why they exist here, and that's why there are so many here. An invasive species is a species that didn't exist in a certain area and it was brought in by humans. And many times these species don't have any predators in the new areas they were brought in, and because of that they can reproduce very easily and they can grow very fast. So they are able to spread for a whole country or even a whole continent. And they are a big problem to native wildlife because they occupy their ecological niches, and that can result in species extinction actually. So invasive species are a big problem. All of us should be aware of it, and please don't release your pets into the wild because they can be responsible for native species to go extinct. The common waxbill is not the only invasive species we have here in this protected area. We also have the ice plant, which is spread throughout all the dunes in this area, and we have acacia trees, which are very difficult to control because they grow very fast, and every year they send to the ground millions of seeds. So every year there are a lot of plants growing up, and it's a very big problem, not only here but also in other areas of Portugal. And we also have another plant, it's an invasive reed, also known as the giant reed, and this species was used to protect the agriculture fields from the winds, but now of course these species spread out to natural areas and we can find them here too. Acacia trees can be very beautiful because at this time of the year, as you can see, they have these vibrant yellow flowers, and they can be quite beautiful, I have to confess. But as you can see also from here, they grow really close to each other and they make a very dense forest. I don't know if we can call this forest, but whatever. And it makes it difficult for animals in general to walk through these places. And also our native species don't feed on these plants. This area is quite special to me because it was here that I did my internship when I was studying biology at the university, and during that time I learned how to identify birds, how to count them, all that stuff, and I know this region, this area quite well. I really like to come here sometimes to take photos of birds, of amphibians too, and just relax. This is very beautiful, although there are a lot of invasive species, there are also many native, really cool species to see here. I really like to come back here once in a while. And although I really like this place, today, to be truth, it was a disaster because the wind now is even more stronger and I didn't see any of the birds I wanted to photograph. So I have to come back in another day, and that day will be part of this video, of course. So see you in a few moments in the next day. I am back, and today I came a bit later than the other day because today I want to photograph invasive plants instead of the birds. I thought it was better to leave the birds to another day, so for now the light is too strong and for now I want just to search for compositions, and later when the light is better I'll try to photograph the invasive plants here. Okay, right now I'm photographing the giant reeds. They are everywhere here, but they are very difficult to photograph. Actually, it's quite a challenge to find a composition here. And what I'm doing right now is to take a more general shot of these giant reeds, and then I'll try also a more zoomed in, more compressed image of the same plants. The problem with this composition is that everything is so confused, everything is so packed, that is very difficult to find a nice composition. There are a lot of distractions, and I don't know if the photos will work. I'll have to work more on this. I've already found another composition where I can include the reeds, the acacia trees and also eucalyptus, so 3 species in just one photo, which is great for what I want to show. But I'll take that photo during the sunset. For now I'm focusing on only the reeds, and I also want to try to photograph the acacia trees, more detailed shots instead of a landscape photo. So yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so as I said, for the reeds now I'm zooming in quite a lot, just to get some parts of the reeds and to avoid all the distractions we have here. And right now I'm using shutter speed of 40th of a second and f11 and ISO 500. Okay, I just walked a few meters and already found a nice composition to photograph acacia trees. I was hoping to photograph a big field of acacia trees as we have here in this place, but I also was hoping to get all the trees with yellow color because of the flowers, but I guess these trees don't bloom all at the same time, so that kind of photo won't work. Then I decided to try a more detailed shot of a tree. It doesn't show what I wanted, which is to show that they are everywhere, but at least I can show how they look, and I guess I found a beautiful composition. I took this photo at 24 millimeters and the shutter speed was, let me see here, I have to turn on the camera of course, and the shutter speed was 50 of a second, f8 and ISO 100, and I'm quite close to the acacia tree, and then I used an f number of f8 because I wanted the background a bit out of focus to get separation from the acacia tree. I have just photographed the landscape with the 3 different species I told you before, and well, I don't think it worked today because there was no clouds in the sky, no color. I took a panorama with my 300 millimeters, so I get close enough to all those 3 species and to people know what it's there. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it worked. Probably I'll be back here another day with better weather, with clouds in the sky, and see if I can get a colorful sky. I think it would add something to the photo, because like it is today, it looks quite flat and boring. So yeah, maybe another day. Next day I'll come here, I'll be probably photographing birds, so stay tuned. I'll film, of course, everything. And yeah, for today it's everything. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are not subscribed and if you like the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.